We then see the symbiote ops team moving over to the church where everybody is, before one lone citizen comes running out saying, "You've got to leave, you've got to get out of here," before transforming into a symbiote herself and attacking the group. But before she's able to do anything, she gets shot down by one, which causes the symbiote that was on her to dissipate. But there's a problem, as they find out the symbiotes are now bulletproof, which is bad news for the team, as their weapons are now mainly bullets and there's a whole horde of them now running towards them, as they have no choice but to start fighting a losing battle. Back inside of the church though, we see Cletus talking to Hannah the mother, saying which one of you will do first, as he's going to make Captain America attack the mother and children as a show of power. But Captain America is able to resist the commands, staying steadfast and in place. But just then, as Cletus gets distracted from the gunfire and battling going out outside, this is all the momentary pause Captain America needs to break free from the symbiote using strength and willpower, landing a mean hit on Cassidy before immediately going for his communicator and saying for a drop on the location for codename 4563. And unfortunately for Cap, that is all he's able to do, as Carnage just immediately captures him back. And as we see on the other end of the receiving call, it was none other than Flash Thompson, who was currently Agent Venom, loading up and getting ready to roll out for backup in containing this Carnage outbreak. Picking back up into the thick of it, we see the symbiote strike team trying their best to hold off the Carnage infection, but failing because, as I said before, their weapons are just ineffective. With one of them saying, "Let's hurry up, Cletus is in that bar over there, and if we don't get him by sunrise, the feds are going to torture this whole town, whether we are out or not." But just then, we see Carnage himself with his little squad of symbiote infected Avengers, and him saying, "Get off my lawn." And with one of the strike team taking a shot, the fight begins as the Thing jumps in the way, blocking the bullet. Then Captain America springing into action, and with the strike team being assaulted and attacked at all sides, one of them calls in a Scorn, who is off doing her own thing, saying, "If you're gonna get in the fight, now is the time." But then we cut over to see her in some strange facility, seemingly building something, because her symbiote is different from the rest, as she can interact and even upgrade different technology with her symbiote. But moving back, we see the strike team trying and failing to get the upper hand on the Avengers. But that is until Spider-Man and the rest of the survivors of the town come strolling in trucks and carrying Molotov bombs, which they start throwing. So as they start to join the fight, Spider-Man tells one of them to find your wife and the other survivors. "I got this one," as he leaps up towards Carnage. And as their little fight begins, we see Carnage instantly get the upper hand, as per usual, and unfortunately taking a beating and is outclassed. And as Carnage has finally pinned him down, saying, "Your eyes are pretty cocky behind that mask. I'm gonna pull them right through your mask, like your skull is giving birth." But just then, a voice behind him says, "Stay still, Spider-Man," as we see someone shoot a sonic cannon at Carnage, making it reel in pain. And this someone is none other than Agent Venom, who at this time is unknown to everybody except Captain America, as Spider-Man even comments, "Oh crud, the Punisher's dressed like me." But Agent Venom calming him, saying, "Don't worry, I'm just a friend." But just then, Carnage suddenly gets back up and joins right back into the battle, and leaps to attack Agent Venom. But as he has a sonic cannon, he gets the upper hand, quite easily I'd say. And as the weapon is disrupting the symbiote, his control on all the others are weakening, allowing not only the townspeople but the Avengers to regain momentary control. And as Venom is putting the beat down on Carnage and gets him to the point where he puts a gun in his mouth, getting ready to blow his head open, Spider-Man suddenly says, "No, no one dies." And Agent Venom confused, saying, "But he's him." And unfortunately, this is all the time Carnage needed to regain his strength and get the upper hand again, summoning the Thing and Captain America to knock Agent Venom down, separating him from the weapon, with Carnage just saying thanks and laughing, before grabbing Agent Venom by the head and preparing to give him a beatdown. And he would be successful in it if it wasn't for Scorn suddenly with this improvised tractor device scooping both of them up at high speeds and carrying them away. And with Scorn using this device to transport the Carnage symbiote, which Flash Thompson accidentally got in the way of, to a facility where she had built something that could separate symbiotes from their host. And unfortunately, Agent Venom gets thrown into the mix, and as the machine activates, the Carnage symbiote is separated from Cletus, stripping not only him of the symbiote, but its control of everybody else in the town, finally freeing them, but unfortunately also disconnecting Venom from Flash Thompson. And it seems Cletus is the first one up, both in their human forms now, but with Cletus having a weapon. And with Flash Thompson being an amputee without workable legs, it's not exactly a fair fight. But as Flash Thompson starts to crawl away, Cletus steps forward, and fortunately for Flash, it seems like the sonic machine messed with his robotic legs, making them come apart, now pitting the two legless characters on an even playing field. And with Flash grabbing a weapon of his own, they start to fight, with Flash crawling forward and stabbing Cletus in the arm, before Cletus literally taking a bite out of his neck, before Flash throwing him off. And while this battle is going on, we see the Avengers pulling up to the facility that this is going on at. But on the other side, we see where the two symbiotes, the Carnage and Venom symbiote, scurried off to, after being disconnected from their host, and trying to find new hosts, which they do in the form of farm animals. And as the Avengers approach the building coming up with a plan, they are blindsided by an entire horde of symbiote infected creatures, with one being a venomized gorilla and others being Carnage infested animals. We then see the Avengers step in to defend the townspeople from the raging animals, and the Thing grabbing and stopping a Carnage infected giraffe, which is a sentence I didn't think I would be saying today. And we even see a Carnage lion attacking said symbiote gorilla. And as the two symbiotes are going at it, we see their host fighting as well, with Cletus getting the high ground on Flash with a weapon of his own, and managing to stab Flash in the chest, and using that same hook and hanging him on the conveyor belt. And as you see outside, the venomized gorilla trying to get back to its host, but is being stopped by various Carnage infected animals. We see ironically Spider-Man coming to the rescue, kicking off an animal, saving the gorilla, and letting him go free into the facility to connect back with Flash Thompson. And inside said facility, we see Cletus hanging Flash up, saying left or right eye first, don't make me choose, before he hears something and turns around, seeing a gorilla, and with him being rightfully confused, he turns back around and sees Flash Thompson, now rebonded with the Venom symbiote, saying, look at that, guess my symbiote likes me, as he grabs Cletus by the throat, holding him up. But as that battle comes to the close, we see back outside where the heroes have led the symbiote infected animals back into the town, into one general area, where we see Scorn rocking the Thing's sonic cannon that he brought along, but seemingly upgrading it, using it to guide and direct the horde into a pile. And as dawn starts to break, a drone comes in with missiles planning to torch the town. But Captain America puts in a call saying to only strike this one location where the rest of the symbiotes are held. And as it connects, we see 90% of the symbiotes blow up and are destroyed in said blast, with one pile of it left screeching in pain on the floor. But we see Scorn using some kind of containment field scoop it up and secure it. And with Agent Venom finally coming out of the facility with a beaten Cletus, he turns to Captain America and tells him, I couldn't kill him, sir. Not when I'd have to answer to Spider-Man. I know it's silly, but I'm kind of a fan. And with Captain America simply replying, you should be proud of yourself for bringing this one in alive. Where we see Cletus in a prison cell on the Avengers jet, seemingly at peace and even smirking a bit, as he knows the people of this town will never be the same and forever traumatized of the events he caused.